Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a video that young Beretta and I have discussed doing for a couple years now. We've seen other channels do something similar, a top 10 handgun list or a top 5 handgun list. We wanted to do something a little bit different, so we decided to do a video called the top 5 handguns going into 2017, or the top 5 handguns for 2017. Obviously these are handguns that we have owned in 2016 and before, and we're going to give you what our top picks are going into 2017. So if you're getting ready to purchase a handgun and it's February, March, or April of 2017, this may be a good reference point for you to consider.
So obviously this list is not going to include new handguns that are going to be released at SHOT Show 2017, like the CZ P10C.
Yeah, the P10C or anything else coming out in 2017 will not be inclusive in this video. So with those as ground rules, let's move ahead. We're going to start off with 3 honorable mentions, and then we're going to count down the top 5 handguns going into 2017. The first honorable mention for me is the handgun in front of you. This is the CZ75B in matte stainless. It's been a wonderful pistol for us. We picked this up in 2016. Many owners have them out there, a CZ75 of some sort or another, and this one I've really enjoyed. It is a great looking pistol, 9mm, easy to fire, and 100% reliable for us. The only changes we've done on this pistol is add TFX True Glow sights. Try to get those in picture here. There we go. Which are really great sights, and it really aids in picking up that sight picture for you. So this pistol gets an honorable mention. And we have a couple more honorable mentions before we get to the countdown. My second honorable mention here is the Walther PPQ in 45 ACP. A very reliable handgun for us. We've enjoyed shooting it. The trigger is extremely light when compared to many other striker-fired 45 ACP pistols. So there's a little bit of a transition there if you're not used to that. That's something to be aware of. But other than that, the pistol runs like a clock. It's a great shooter, carries a good magazine capacity of 12+1.
One thing people complain about with the PPQ in general, and also the 45 ACP, is it does have a higher bore axis. And that is pretty obvious on the 45 ACP version.
So you can tell that a little bit when handling the recoil of the 45 as you shoot it. Those are the 2 major complaints I hear about this pistol, but I really enjoy shooting it. It's a good pistol, and like I said, it was 100% reliable for us. I really enjoyed the pistol.
And the ergonomics are just fantastic.
It has the same grip as every Walther PPQ, just a little bit larger for the 45 ACP, and the trigger has been outstanding on all of them. This one's very crisp and light. The third honorable mention pistol we wanted to bring to the table, it's the Sig Sauer P225A1. It's the rebirth of the P6, right?
Yeah, or P225 original.
Exactly. It's an excellent medium size, a little bit larger than your subcompact pistols are, but I really enjoy shooting this pistol. The grip on it is really outstanding, handles recoil like a champ, 100% reliable, of course, just like most SIGs. It's got that traditional double action, single action trigger pull. You've got the decocking mechanism like you do in all the P-Series pistols. Great job on the front strap checkering. Just the overall quality of the pistol is a 10. What'd you think of it?
Everything you said. I mean, you know, obviously I made the versus video between this and the original, and I put out my opinion, you know, basically saying that I thought the original was a little bit better, but this is still a fantastic pistol, especially with the classic carry version or whatever it's called, coming in at $700.
Yeah, this one was a little bit closer to $9. I think it was like $8.95 or something like that.
But you did get it when it was first released.
Yeah, I got it right away. And I have not been sorry that I bought it, and to me it's worth every penny. At first I was comparing it to the Glock 43, which I was not a fan of at all, and so I was kind of pushing this pistol as much better. Yeah, the pistol's larger, no question about that, but if you have not fired one, most people that were saying somewhat negative things about this gun have never picked one up, have never fired one, so do you really know what you're talking about? Well, not really. But I bought the SIG first, and later we got more into the Glock 43, and both of us became fans of the Glock 43 also. But my first love was for this SIG 225A1, and I'm not sorry I have it. I'm glad it's in my collection.
And really, how can you resist a SIG?
Anyway, so that's the third honorable mention. We're going to move on to the list. We're going to count them down from 5 to the number 1 choice for us. So it's going to go in order from 5 down to 1. Continues to run perfect. I just think it's a great looking little pistol. Okay guys, you got a little sneak peek at what was next. Number 5 on our list is the Glock 43. The Glock 43 was a pistol I did not warm up to right away. It took time, and to us, when we finally purchased this Glock 43, it seemed like the trigger had been reworked from the early Glock 43s. The triggers on those, in my opinion, and I still shoot one from time to time that was an early release pistol, was not as good. Nowhere near as good as it is now. So if you have not purchased a Glock 43, test the triggers on them several times, like I tell everyone to when you're going to buy a gun. Pull it 5 to 10 times. Make sure you like the trigger pull on it. But this newer version, the one that we finally sat down and purchased, has a much more traditional feeling Glock trigger to it than the ones early on. It's actually quite excellent.
So yeah, it has just a little bit of take up and it hits the wall and breaks. It's very creep free. It doesn't stack or anything like that. It's just a fantastic trigger. As far as some modifications, let's just go over them real fast. There is a review on these sights coming out soon. These are the Ameriglow Spartan Tactical Operator night sights, and they're fantastic. I prefer the yellow version, but this is what I put on the 43 at the time. Thanks to Optics Planet for sending those out. And I am running the DPM Systems stainless steel recoil reduction guide rod assembly, and it's just fantastic. And those are the mods.
And with all those mods, you're getting close to what? 600 rounds, 700 rounds through this pistol?
Yeah.
And you've never had one malfunction with
Never.
it, right? So, yeah, it's been a great pistol and worth its number 5 spot on our list.
Definitely. It's definitely our pick as far as a single stack 9mm handgun out there. I mean, it's the best in our opinion. I'm not a fan of the PPS M2. I know you aren't either. We handled one. The trigger, in our opinion, for the PPS just isn't very good.
It doesn't compare to what you have here in the Glock 43.
Yeah, it has more of a stacking sensation. Or at least the one we looked at. We actually looked at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've looked at them a couple times because we thought we'd end up buying one, and we just haven't yet. So to us, the Glock 43 in all subcompacts is the pick.
Yeah, and I mean, you totally hated it. That's why we made the video, the P225A1, the Glock 43 killer, because at the time, that was your feelings. You hated it. You could not stand it because your brother's Glock 43 has a really bad trigger. It just does. It does not feel like a traditional full-size Glock pistol, and so that was what it was at the time. But you actually love this pistol so much that you are planning on picking up one now for yourself.
The biggest difference in the pistols that were early compared to what this one is now is the trigger was so bad I was actually pulling myself off the target.
Yeah.
And when I'm pulling myself off a target, half the shots, it's completely unacceptable for me. And since I don't traditionally do that with the 38 handguns in my collection, to me it was unacceptable.
Yeah.
And when I shot the SIG 225A1, it was a dream to shoot and very accurate. So yeah, I lent all my favor to the SIG Sauer over the Glock 43, but this particular one I shoot quite well.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to number 4. Okay guys, coming in number 4 for us on our top 5 handguns is a relatively newcomer to the handgun world and somewhat of a surprise to me. You found out about it early on, young Beretta. Tell them about the handgun.
Well, this is a pistol that is not made in the U.S. It's made in Slovenia, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting gun. It's basically a takeoff of a SIG 226 as far as the way it looks, but it does not act like a 226 in the way that its male of arms are. It's very different. You guys should go check out the videos on this pistol. We actually did a comparison video between it and the Legion, and for its price point at $600, this is unbelievable. You're getting a ton of quality. You're almost getting SIG quality in a pistol at $600 made by a totally different manufacturer.
And the other thing that I found pretty interesting about it is I don't watch a whole lot of other YouTube channels, but I did see the reviews on this and the torture tests that were done on this. It's very impressive what this pistol is capable of and still run.
Yeah, it's basically a go-to-war handgun for sure.
And it's been flawless for you since you've had it. We've
Yeah.
put hundreds and hundreds of rounds through it. I don't think we're over 1,000 yet, but we're getting close.
The only modification that I have made to this pistol is I have added a stainless steel guide rod assembly made by SS Guide Rods for it. And there it is in the pistol. As you can see, pistol is kind of dirty. Plan on going out with it again soon and putting it up against a Brandon Lyons 2FS.
Yeah, it compares well to lots of guns that cost from a couple $100s to $500-600 more. It just depends when you start comparing it to SIGs and stuff like that. A lot of people like to stay with Sig Sauer because of the name and the tradition and the history, and it's an American company and that type of thing. And I get all of that. I do like buying American products, especially if I think they're somewhat superior. So I have quite a few SIGs in my collection. I do not have one of these, but I must say I have been very impressed with what I see so far.
Yeah. What I love about over the SIGs, especially nowadays with owning this pistol, is the ambi controls as far as the magazine release, because I hate having to swap over a Sig Sauer P226 or any guns, magazine release to the other side for a lefty, so it's just kind of annoying, and it's awesome that it is already there as an ambi control.
Yep, it's been a very good handgun.
My only con with the pistol is there is no aftermarket sights available for this pistol at all, so we actually will be contacting XS Sights about making some aftermarket sights for this in the future, if no one else does it yet.
Alright guys, that's number 4. Number 3 is next. Alright guys, number 3 on our list of our top 5 handguns for 2017 is, surprise, the Dan Wesson Specialist. The Specialist is a new 1911 for me. I recently picked it up at the end of 2016, and it has been just absolutely flawless.
It did have one slight hiccup for me with the 10-round mag, but don't know what it was.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did have that one issue. The quality of the 1911 nearly equals that of my Les Baer custom carry at a much discounted price from the Les Baer.
$600.
So you get a lot of 1911 for the money here. If you're trying to get into a 1911 and you do want to get an all forged 1911, you don't want mem parts and stuff like that, this may be the one for you. The Specialist comes in this stainless, and it also comes in a blue color, so you can kind of pick which one you want. So this pistol does now come in a commander size also, so if you don't want a full-size 1911, you can go with the commander size if you are interested in taking it for some type of a CCW type pistol. Pistol feels great in hand, very good control. The sights are excellent.
Honey straight eights.
Excellent sights on this thing. Very easy to get on target and keep on target. It has a rather large safety that can be manipulated by right-handers or left-handers.
Very positive.
Which is great. And then of course you can add lights and lasers and whatnot to it, because the Specialist is more of the tactical version of 1911 from Dan Wesson. I also love the grips. They're quite aggressive here though, and it's aggressive up here on the front strap, just so you know. But just a really fantastic 1911 for the price.
I personally consider it to be Dan Wesson's top-of-the-line pistol they make. I think it's better than the Valor because of the ambi safety and all that, and it's just more feature-filled.
And the Valor doesn't have a tactical rail. I guess if that's not important to you, it won't matter. The Valor's more traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So not to take away from the Valor at all, but check out the Specialist if you like the Valor better. They're basically the same handgun with just a little bit of differences here and there. Nothing earth-shattering that I know of. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend you look at this. If you're in that $1,000 to $1,100 1911 already, this isn't much of a jump. This one was just over $1,500.
Yep.
So $1,500 for the Dan Wesson if you want an all-forged type 1911. You don't want any mem parts. So we highly recommend this one, and it came in as our number 3 choice going into 2017. Okay guys, coming in at number 2, and this won't be a big surprise to all of our subscribers out there. Thank you very much, by the way, for subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate that. The PPQ, the Walther PPQ in 9mm. It doesn't get much better than this in both of our opinions. As far as young Beretta and I are concerned, it's the number 1 9mm striker fired pistol out there.
The best. And I know the new CZP-10 just came out, you know, and that's the craze right now, but this pistol right here has a proven track record. It's been out for like 6 or 7 years, no major problems at all, no recalls.
Thousands and thousands of rounds fired from happy owners.
Thousands of owners, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's true. It is one of our most highly recommended pistols for people that are just getting into the sport, that are looking for something for CCW and can carry something bigger than a subcompact. You know, this is one of our number 1 picks for recommendations. This and the Glock 19, which has been a standby for CCW for decades. So if you're looking for something that just seems to work all the time, has a great trigger, has a fantastic grip on it, just really nice and slim and narrow, fits the hand very, very well. You don't get much better than this.
Yeah, and the trigger is just unbelievable on this gun. This is the take-up on it, right there. And then you hit the wall. No creep at all, it just breaks. Reset. Just amazing. Go over the mods real fast. This is sporting a DPM Systems glass breaker magazine base plate. This is aluminum, it's very high quality. Make sure the mags drop out very easily because of the extra weight on the bottom of the magazine. It's very similar to how those Vickers Elite magazines have a steel magazine base plate.
Nice.
Yeah. So another thing that I am running in this is the BT guide rod. That's what I'm running in mine. Beretta Senior is running the SS guide rods, and so is my mom's PPQ. She's running an SS guide rod. So, you know, we have like 5 9mm Walther PPQs, and never one issue. This is the Trijicon HD night sights. They're pretty good. I do prefer, though, quite honestly, if you can get them, a mirror glows, but they don't make the sights yet for the PPQ.
So that pretty much sums up how we feel about the Walther PPQ in 9mm. It is our number 1 striker fired pistol. Whether you get it 9mm 40 or the 45, the 9mm is so much easier to control in this pistol compared to the other calibers. So for 90% of the populace out there, if you're looking for a Walther PPQ and you're not sure which one to get, I always recommend getting the 9mm. It's cheaper to practice with, it's a little bit cheaper on the carry ammo, it'll get the friggin' job done every time. Why move around and change and become a caliber junkie, especially if you have somewhat limited experience, i.e. less than 5 years experience shooting handguns? Go with the Walther PPQ in 9mm, you will not be sorry.
Yep.
Alright. Number 1 coming up. So our number 1 pistol going into 2017 for you guys to consider is the Sig Sauer 226 Legion.
Out of all the handguns we own.
Right. Or all the handguns we bought from, you know, roughly all the way through 2016. Maybe a few of them picked up before then. But these guns are out. They're available. The highest standard is built into this pistol. Just fantastic craftsmanship and just a terrific shooter. What do you think?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I know there's some people out there that aren't a huge fan because this can pass some tests, but you guys, this is a go-to-war handgun for a lot of people. You know, the Navy SEALs use it for a long time. It's been out for decades. This design right here, starting with the 220 and then later on the 226 and double stack 9mm. It's a very proven pistol. And, you know, we only had one malfunction the first range trip with this, but then the first 100 rounds, and ever since then, not one problem.
The other con on it that I've heard from some owners out there is that the coating is not holding up as well. From what I understand, it's from like holster wear and stuff like that. If it's something you're CCWing and stuff, you've got to assume that you're going to beat up the finish a little bit. That's kind of the way I look at it.
The sledgehammer.
Here's my Glock 30 Gen 4, and it has wear all over it.
So that is your daily carry.
That's my daily carry. So if you're getting a bunch of wear and stuff on your Sig Sauer Legion because you're carrying it a lot, you kind of got to assume that that's going to happen, that you're going to get a lot of wear marks on your pistol. It becomes a tool at that point, right? So to me, it's almost a non-issue. I'm not carrying my Sig Sauer pistols, I'm carrying the Sledgehammer. So to me, I'm not getting any wear on my Legions, and they look as good today as the day that I purchased them. So to me, it's a non-issue.
Yeah, you're probably going to be switching here soon to a Sig pistol, but, you know, leave that up to be seen later on.
Right, and if I do switch to another pistol, that being a 226 Legion or a 229 Legion or something like that, I'm going to expect wear and tear on my handgun.
Yeah.
It just happens. So I've been carrying guns for 30 years, so it's just part of carrying guns. So if you're going to carry the gun, you're going to get some wear on it. But other than that, this thing is a masterpiece. Just completely thrilled with owning it.
It's got an unbelievable trigger on it. It's got the Grey Guns trigger. Just fantastic. Very smooth. The X-Ray Sig Sauer sights are, in my opinion, probably the best sights out there. If you can get them for your pistol, which really gets only the SIGs and the XDs, because they have a pretty similar dovetail.
I have no doubt with this pistol. I'm just 100% happy with owning it. I highly recommend it to you if you're thinking about buying a Sig Sauer of any type. I think you should look at a Legion, whether it's a 226 or a 229, be it in 9mm or 40 or whatever. But give them a look, guys. You may really, really like it too. The trigger is outstanding. The sights are really fast at the range. So it really does help you get on target and stay on target for multiple hits. So it's my #1 pick for 2017.
So in our opinion, this is Sig Sauer's best handgun they've ever made. That's flat out our opinion, right?
Yeah. And I have, God, what do I have? It's got to be getting close to 10.
Yeah.
Almost 10 6 hours in my
Probably
collection.
over that, but yeah. And the other thing is, you know, it is basically our #1 choice as far as a 9mm pistol on the market. You have a ton of choices out there on the market. The marketplace is flooded with different 9mm pistols, and in our opinion, this is #1.
Yeah, whether you go with the 226 or if you want it smaller for CCW, go with the 229. But either way, it's just a terrific pistol, and it's our #1 pick. So that sums it up for our top 5 handguns going into 2017. If you have a considerably different list, throw it down in the comments, and I like to look over the comments, so I definitely would like to read that.
Or feel free to do a VR, you know, video response to our channel.
Absolutely. All right, guys, so that's it. Until the next one, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Beretta 9mm USA, for more guns and gear videos coming up in the future.